truth is out there, and it begins with you. Welcome to the Cosmic Fold, where we talk high strangeness. Call us at 928-288-2942. That's 928-288-2942. Or join us by video. If you're at a computer, just look for the link in the chat. Buckle up, sit around our virtual campfire, and let's get started.
Tonight on the Cosmic Fold, we're stepping into our Wednesday Weirdness variety show with a twist. Instead of one big topic, Deborah has assembled 10 different stories, handpicked, shuffled, and absolutely unhinged. We're talking everything from funny to educational, futuristic to creepy, why did I watch that before bed stories. Here's where the chaos begins. Co-hosts Denise, Helen, and Bove each get to pick a number from 1 through 10. Whichever number they choose, that's the mystery story we dive into. And you, our live stream explorers, get to choose the rest. Drop a number in the chat, and if a story triggers a thought, a memory, or your own weird encounter, jump in with your comments or give us a call. It's random, it's weird, it's unpredictable, and it's exactly what Wednesday nights were made for. So hang on, Foldlings. Tonight, we let the universe choose the journey.
Nice.
Oh, how fun.
I know the number I'm going to pick already.
What? Me too. I know what number I got.
And then whoever is live in the chat, then they can put their number, and if there aren't enough people doing it, we'll just circle back around through everyone again.
That sounds good.
These are my thoughts at 3:45 in the morning. I bet the world turns into a big cartoon.
You know, Deborah.
I love it.
Some of
I
us
love
sleep.
I've been on this crazy diet right now, and it's just like, I'm just like wired.
Really?
Why?
What are you eating? Are you eating
Chia
cocaine?
seeds I've mixed in.
Oh, there you go.
Chia really make you wired? I didn't know that.
They do for me, because it's got like all these fats and proteins and stuff that I guess I've been missing. And so, because I've had the flu like twice now, but you have to soak them, because otherwise your stomach will just blow up. But all these people swear by it. And especially if you have digestive stuff from time to time, or vegetarians, it's good to get like this other thing. And so what you do, you could just mix it with different things, and they're kind of tasteless, but you've got to soak them for 15 minutes. But for some, it's like worse than coffee. It's weird.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
I can eat some of that. I'm going to have to try that.
Well, they're very good for you. They say it's good for your cardiovascular system, digestive system. There are, people in their 70s and 80s talking about their arthritis seems to be going away.
Wow.
It's like this little wonder thing. They're these tiny little seeds, but you've got to be really careful to soak them first. Otherwise, it could kill you if you don't. So that's the warning.
Not good. Yeah, that's a bad thing. Yeah. Yeah,
don't have them around for your kids, but you've got to soak them for 15 minutes, and then you can mix it and stuff. And so it's kind of cool, but it's kind of wired me. or it could be.
He's mainlighting poppy seed muffins.
Well, we were talking before we started the show, to pick a number, but this thing called Muse that you're using. Yeah. See, I'd have to get one of those to do on chia seeds and not.
Yeah, that would be good.
But what has your experience been with that? And can you kind of tell folks what it is?
It's a headband. I have it right. Well, I don't have to show it to you, but it's a headband that you wear. Basically, it's an EEG machine, so you can monitor it on your phone what your brain activity is like. And every time I've done it, it thinks I'm meditating, because all my lower frequency brainwaves are really, really high, like the delta, which is usually when you're dead asleep. The theta and the alphas are like really high above everything else. I did some research and found that people who have migraines like I do can have that sometimes. Another interesting piece, right? And a lot of people with severe migraines have this overactive lower frequency, sleep EEG things, but and same with epileptics. But I thought of something really weird was a lot like when I was in MUFON, there was a study done by this, like I can't remember the name of Star Research or something. It was like a paid for research project with talking to everybody that was an experiencer. And there were thousands of people that filled out the questionnaire, like maybe 10, 15,000 people. It's something like 80% of all experiencers were migraine sufferers. So,
Oh, that's interesting.
yes. So I started thinking maybe there's a correlation between that brainwave pattern of people who have migraines with people that are more able to have interdimensional experiences like that. Because if your brainwave pattern is always in a frequency where you're sort of in a meditative state, almost like you're kind of dreamy, maybe that makes that kind of porous, or maybe it's the experiences themselves that are triggering that brainwave pattern and causing migraines. I don't know which way it goes, chicken or the egg, but yeah, kind of
That's
interesting.
It goes to
interesting.
your phone.
Yes. Hmm.
You better watch out. The CIA is looking at your brainwaves. I'm not kidding.
They already are.
Probably, yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
was doing this thing that my mother sent me last birthday called the Wave Watch.
Right.
And she said, well, maybe that can help, with the brain injury and stuff.
Well, yeah,
And it
actually,
did. And it's got like a lot of different, and I had used it one time because I had just a killer migraine. And what this is, it's like a little watch thing, and it emits different frequencies of sound. And
Huh.
so it does sound healing.
Oh,
And
wow.
that headache went away after I did that. And so
Well,
I had
that's
to do
good.
it to balance my chia seed.
Yeah, really.
I had to put it on again. I kind of stopped doing it for a little bit because my cat just loved it. She just loved the
Yeah, I was
sound.
going to say cats
then-
probably like it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So then I started putting it on the Schumann wave frequency,
Yeah.
basically for the cat. Oh my God, she just like puts her arms around this watch and just purrs, and it knocked her out. She just loved it. Yeah.
Wow.
It's so whatever they are, it seems to work, and I'm very interested in this Muse too.
Yeah,
All that kind of stuff is cool.
that actually can be used for brain injury help, like to do biofeedback to help with brain injury.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a separate company that does specifically will come up with things to help you to do biofeedback to help repair brain injury kind of stuff. So yeah, you should look
I think
into it.
mine actually has been repairing a lot, and it started, and I know it's weird, but when I got my first COVID shot, all of a sudden,
Wow.
because it had been so bad, the brain injury that, and I was in this study with a university, and there were all these guys from Iraq that had suffered brain injuries too from the
Right.
loud explosions and all this other
Right.
stuff. And so there was this one guy, Paul, and he was saying it was like, wow, finally somebody's going through what I did. It was like I couldn't listen to music anymore if it had like deep bass and singing. It
Wow.
would like split into two like things, but they weren't synced.
Right,
and
that
it would
is
just-
really a sign of your having your brain is, yeah, that is actually it. Yeah, I've heard that.
Oh, that was horrible, and it would throw me into a rage listening to music.
wow.
And what was so bad for him was that he and his wife, before he was sent off to Iraq, that was what brought them together, was music.
Oh,
And
wow.
they would do concerts and all this stuff all the time. And then he had that same thing. And I even broke a finger. I went into a rage so bad just because I heard some music somewhere and it just wouldn't compute, that I
Wow.
like smashed a wall and busted my finger from it.
God.
And
Oh, wow.
it just drives you. I don't know how to explain it, but it's going through that too. So
Right.
hopefully
Well,
he is healed.
Yeah, I actually knew a friend of mine in MUFON who had a lot of trauma. And so she went and did biofeedback that did that very thing where it would split music and your brain would have to kind of unconsciously figure out how to get it to work together to heal the trauma. So it sounds kind of like it shows that you must have been in a very traumatized state for ordinary music to kind of push those two pieces apart in your brain to not be able to put them together. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, and that was the second traumatic brain injury. So I've had two of them. So that second one probably just pushed me over. But
Yeah.
I can listen to music again now, which is
Oh, that's great.
awesome.
That
You know,
is
and I've
awesome.
got a fast car with a manual transmission. I put on the rock,
Be careful
and
with
I
the-
have a really good time. I'm not.
Yeah, if you got in a couple car crashes, be careful, girl.
Wild thing.
I am. Oh, I used to be very wild. You have no idea.
I
I
can
bet
imagine.
I can imagine.
I can imagine.
I don't
But it
know
was so
nothing.
fun.
I bet,
It was so
yeah.
fun.
I
So,
have an inherent mistrust of those types of technology. My daughter tried to buy me a watch that monitors, I don't know, your sweat, everything about you. And I told her, I don't want to know, but also I don't trust that it would remain private. And I know that sounds paranoid, except that recent studies have shown, I've been reading, and it's not imaginary. But my big fear would be I do a brainwave thing like you've got, Denise, and be a flatline, and then what?
Oh, come on.
well, then there's finally proof of life after death. It'll pop up on someone else's little thing. All of a sudden, I'll get one of those, and all of a sudden, I'll start channeling Helen, and Denise will be like, "Oh, did you get another brain injury?"
I've already promised my children I'm coming back to haunt them. So
I'm sure you will. I am sure you will.
You probably will. Oh no. Okay, so all but 2 of these things are just real short.
Okay.
Some are serious, some are not. Some kind of follow a theme. It was just like whatever I could get done. So Denise, you're the first up, right? So what number between 1 and 10? What number?
7.
I knew it would be 7. Okay. Oh, that's a good one. Bove, can you read for us tonight?
Yep. Let me.
All right.
Okay. A Reddit glitch in the Matrix story from the High Strangeness thread 18 days ago titled, "Have you ever experienced a glitch that felt too specific to be a coincidence?"
Interesting.
Okay, this is from user Forkle from 17 days ago. And Forkle says, "I had a priest leave his laptop in for repair a few years ago. One of the issues was the battery was dead. The very next customer who walked in as the priest was leaving was randomly deciding to leave in a battery from a laptop because he didn't know what to do with it and didn't want to dump it. It was an exact match for the model of laptop, an old Acer Aspire laptop from about 15 years ago. It's weird because nobody had left in a battery before or since. Just a weird coincidence that didn't feel like a coincidence."
Interesting.
Well,
Okay.
that's kind of an interesting little, like I said, it's random weirdness tonight.
Well,
but
we used to call those synchronicities rather than glitches in the matrix, and I think that's probably more apt. That's a synchronicity.
Yeah, it's a Carl Jung thing.
Yeah. That there
but
are
it
things-
is kind of cool for a battery that's 15 years old, for an old computer.
Yeah, it is cool. I think it kind of just, I think it's one of those things where the universe sometimes just gives you something back and I think sometimes it's karma. Like I remember when I was going to art school and I had no money. I was super poor, but there was this homeless guy who came up to me in front of the art store. And he's like, he tells me that, he has no money to eat and has got some kids. And I go, and I just like grabbed $5 and gave it to him. And then I went into the art store and I'm like searching around my purse and I realized my $5, I had another $5 I didn't even know about. And I was like, seemed like it was sort of one of those things where it's sort of like sometimes when you give, you get back. And sometimes it's really immediate like that. I feel like, I feel like giving, you get back. So maybe that person had really good karma. Hey, yes, cosmic forces.
Could have.
Yeah.
Cosmic forces. You're right, Keith.
Hi, Keith.
So, okay.
Or dharma.
Any other comments on that one? Or We ready for the next one?
Yeah.
All right. Who's up next? Bove, I guess you had a number already.
My number is 4.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it.
Why don't we just call it a night since you're reading everybody's mind? She's reading everybody's mind. What's
I
left
knew
to
it.
say?
I was like, "Where?" I heard it in my head. Okay.
All right. This is a more serious one.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Because I've been hearing in the news and stuff like, oh, all these young men are joining, the Christian faith and everything. Well, Pew Research just came out with one of their latest, and I've followed them for years and years, and that's not true.
No.
Now, religion is still not exactly on the decline, but it's not, people aren't joining religion either. And in the younger generations, they're just leaving by droves. There are not new people joining the church. And as far as where it might be evening out with men and women, with young people, it's because the women are saying, forget this. I'm not doing it. So you have less women, more men, and it's starting to balance out a little bit.
I'm not surprised by that because, unfortunately, I know a lot of people who are in the Pentecostal, for example, because of people in my family, and those churches, and even around here, I know several ministers and stuff. Those churches are dying, and they've been shutting down because new people aren't coming, and old people are dying off, and their churches are closing actually.
Yep.
Yeah, the Catholic Church has had a big issue with that. They've had to consolidate parishes, close down parishes. I remember when I was in college, there was a very well-established, large church, I don't know, kind of near the airport. And by the time I left, most of the houses had been emptied because they were going to turn it into runways or something, and the church was just complete. I don't know where they moved the congregants. It was completely closed down.
It's been happening more and more, and I think this generation, Gen Z, they're not religious really, pretty much. I mean, I know there are probably kids within that segment that are raised in fundy houses and stuff, but they are very liberal, extraordinarily lefty, and they're often non-binary, or they get, they have, I mean, they're not at all interested in religion. Any of them that I've talked to or met. So.
Well, the young women are leaving because why do they want to go through this misogynistic, disgusting, what is it with...
How is it with what is with Owens?
Owens. I don't know what with Owens is.
Keith,
Maybe.
What's your last word? Check your spelling, honey.
So I'm reading Frank Schaeffer's new book about his dog. He's using the dog as a metaphor for human connection, and he's talking. I mean,
Mormons.
Oh, Mormons. Synchronicity. I just read this 2 hours ago. Same topic. Isn't that weird?
Mormons.
Gen Z is almost, I don't know, nihilistic. Would you use that word? I'm not sure that's quite the right word.
Well, some of them are, I think, because they see they feel like they have climate change is looming, everything is falling apart, and they are aware of that. They're smart, and I don't blame them for being nihilistic.
Well, sadly, they don't see value in connections. Human connections. They don't see value in long-term relationships, having children, long-term friends.
That's not true. I know 2 Gen Z kids that are getting married this week. So not true.
Statistically, okay. So maybe you know the only 2.
I don't know the only 2. Believe me, it's not that rare. It's not that rare.
Well, I have a couple of kids who are Gen Z, and they are like, they don't want children. They don't see that it's a moral choice.
Well, a lot of them don't want to have children because they don't believe the earth is going to be around, and they feel like it's bad to bring someone into the world. That's how they feel, a lot of them. A lot of them are, I mean, and I can't blame them, to be honest. Or they don't feel like they'll have the financial wherewithal to have children. I mean, I know in my age, is the first generation to do worse than the generations before, Gen X. A lot of people I know didn't have kids till they're in their 40s because they couldn't afford to have children. And then they only had one. And every generation subsequent to that, unless you live in the deep South like I do, where people have, and it's less expensive, you live on the coasts, like in New York or Los Angeles or Chicago, even people don't have a lot of kids because they can't afford them.
Out here, it's very Mormon out here. So there's a lot of big families out here still.
Right.
But I see some of the younger ones are kind of like, I don't know if I want to do that. And Keith had said, is the Mormon church declining? They like to say they're not, but there's a really good podcast called Mormon Stories. And, he was, I think, a bishop in the Mormon church for a while or whatever. And he kind of like goes into like why when they say their attendance is growing, it's actually not. And it's the same thing. It's the younger ones are like, I'm not doing this. And in the meantime, they keep building more and more temples to make it look like they're growing. But there's just, that one's faltering off too. Because I think, like you said, Denise, they're way more liberal in thinking. I think they're probably more evolved.
They are.
And they're seeing religion more as, religion is a tool. And one of the wonderful things about religion was the sense of community that it used to have. But that's no longer really there, except for, well, I'd say some of these local Mormon churches have community, but look at these big mega churches and stuff. How can you have community in that? That's not.
You can't, and that's where they've gone. They've gone to like all the little churches have been dying, and then they're all being gobbled up by these mega church corporate kind of gross things that, like you said, don't really have community. And I think young people, they don't really have that same feeling like they need to have that kind of community because they have community online, they have friends, and they look at the world, I think, for the most part, as everything is screwed up. And I mean, my generation is going to be screwed. And I think all the systems look like they're failing, including religion,
And it's a stark generational difference. I have children that are in their 40s.
Right.
And I have children late 20s, very, very early 30s. And it's like a different planet.
Yes, I bet. And it is a generational divide. You had them across 2 generations. Yeah.
But I know even with me, but then again, even though I grew up in a rural area, we had an exceptional school because it was like all these people from Chicago wanted to get out of Chicago. So we had professors and just really good teachers, K through 12. Yeah. And, but I remember climate change was like a normal thing that was taught.
Yes.
And it was really scary. And we would write essays about that. And this was in the state of Wisconsin. And they had, like, for public speaking to learn that, you would go and talk about the environment. And you'd win prizes and all kinds of things for public speaking. And so there was a tremendous consciousness about that. And that could be why I've always been kind of involved in environmental activism sort of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, when I was President Carter was president when I was a little kid, and he was very like pro ecology, turn your thermostats down to save energy,
he had solar panels on the White House.
Yeah, he was going to say he's going to put solar panels on everything. And I mean, he was really trying to push for climate change already remedies at that point, which then Reagan came and just took a big old dump on it. So,
I know my dad was working on all that too, like wind power. And that's when he, had this theory about UFOs going over like magnetic lines. And, and he was, he was convinced you could have an engine that runs on water and then just recycle the water.
I remember there was a story back in Chicago when I was, I think 11, about a man who developed a combustible engine that you could use in a car that ran on water, and it was this big story. And then all of a sudden, it disappeared. And
not a steam engine.
No, a combustible regular engine. They just put water in the tank. And what happened, I think, later on, I tried to find what happened to that story was that patent got bought up by an oil company and just buried.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Well, and that's how I learned to type. I typed my dad's patent application for that because he had done the same thing.
He did?
Yep.
Maybe he was the guy I saw in the news.
No, nobody really heard of him or anything. And, he didn't live very long, but I learned to type. I would type that patent application. So
Wow.
It was
That's
kind of
wild.
interesting. So you know how like with screenwriters and stuff, everyone gets the same idea. I think
Yes.
it's like that with
It
innovation
was
too.
everything.
So I think there were a lot of people all tuning in to
To that
being able to
idea.
build this engine.
And
So
it should have happened. If we would have done it then, look where we'd be now, you know?
yeah,
Non-local consciousness, and it's
Yeah.
a reality. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you're right. Yeah, definitely. The quantum field.
okay. So Helen, you're up for you get to guess a number now.
I want to see if anyone can guess. I've got my favorite number, so let's see.
8.
Nope.
6.
Okay, I was wrong with that.
9. I love the number 9 because
You do?
Oh,
the products of multiplication of 9,
Oh, they're easy.
like
Yeah.
54. If you
Right.
add those two integers
Five,
together,
four.
Yeah, that
you
makes
get
a
9.
9. Yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
I love
Yes.
it. Doesn't take much.
Both you've got to read this one.
Okay.
okay.
At least we're getting the lighter topics in first here.
Okay, from the archives, Omaha World Herald. This was May 10th of 1978. Pipeworks stops phantom caller. Ooh. St. George, Utah. A law office here was plagued by phantom telephone calls. Time after time, when the phone rang and was answered, there was no one on the other end. Finally, a staff member noticed that the phantom would call only when someone visited the toilet. Checking further, it was determined that every time someone sat on the toilet, the phone would ring.
Oh my God. It's so freaking weird. Okay.
Telephone company workers investigated and found that when the telephone was installed, it was grounded to a water pipe on the floor below.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
When someone sat on the commode, the circuit was broken and the telephone would ring.
There you
Ground
go.
was changed and the phantom calls stopped.
Ah,
That
that is
is right.
hilarious.
That's completely inaccurate. The person on the phone was one of my children. Because every time I ever went into the bathroom and shut the door, like
They
a
would follow
party
you.
happened outside. Mom,
Yes.
Mom, what are you doing?
Yes. I bet.
Wasn't that hilarious that Reuters even picked up on that one? It's like, oh, that's
Very funny. Very funny.
you know. Well, when I research for, on our Saturday show, we go, I mean, I find the weirdest darn things in there, and I'm just like crying, laughing
That was
by myself
good.
late at night. Wasn't that one good? Good job, both. Okay, I know Keith is there. Keith, type in a number anywhere. You can choose 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, or 10. 5. Okay, so we have somebody else chose 5. That's perfect. Let's see what 5 is. Oh, okay. Cool. Thank you.
Folklore and ghost stories as retold by author Becca Ferguson. Narrated by Robbie Ferguson. Taking place in 1829, this is the Poltergeist of Baldoon, Ontario. In 1829, in the Scottish settlement of Baldoon, Ontario, the John MacDonald family purchased a 2-story farmhouse and soon found themselves terrorized by a violent poltergeist. For reasons unknown, there was a land dispute over the sale, in particular by an old woman who was very much opposed. Her threats and misgivings were left unheeded, however, and the MacDonalds moved in. The hauntings began straight away. The lid of the kettle flying off as the kettle flung itself to the floor, the poker and broom in the hearth jangling in an unfelt gust of wind. Stones smashing through windows with no culprits in sight, and an Indian knife lifted from its mount and thrown at the window, piercing the casement firmly. Once, John marked one of the stones with paint and threw it into a nearby stream, only to find it back on the floor of his house a few hours later.
But the worst was yet to come. One day, the house randomly caught on fire and burned to the ground. The family escaped unscathed, and after briefly living elsewhere, returned to the property to live in a tent, perhaps planning to rebuild. At this time, a country witch doctor came along and spoke to them. He claimed that the Ojibwe who lived in the same Great Lakes area believed that there was not a poltergeist tormenting the family at all, but rather forest fairies. The house had been built on a fairy path, and they were simply in the way. The hauntings were intended to scare them off. But as later recounted by John MacDonald's son Neil, a local teenage girl with second sight had different advice for the family altogether. She told them to fashion some silver bullets and go in search of any unusual geese in the area. John found a white goose with a black head near the river and proceeded to shoot at it. His aim was bad and he nicked only the wing, breaking it. So he chased after the wounded goose through the hillsides and forest until he lost track of it. It was then that he discovered a cabin in the woods, the house of the old woman who had contested his purchase of the land. And there she sat, in a rocking chair on her porch, muttering curses, cradling a broken arm.
Wow.
This has been The Poltergeist of Baldoon, Ontario, part of Becca Ferguson's Canadian Folklore and Ghost Stories series. Catch the complete and ever-growing series on Wattpad or directly on the author's website, beccaferguson.com.
Wow, that's quite a weird story.
And it was in the newspaper.
Right?
Wow.
Denise,
What?
You knew it was her. It was the poltergeist activity was her. I mean, it just was.
Well, yeah,
obvious.
that they kind of set it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That was a great little story.
Oh, it is a great
Okay.
story. Weird one. And
Yes.
then random thing that tells him to go shoot a goose. That looks weird.
Why would he shoot a goose? That's awful.
Well, that's what I was thinking too.
That's very random. But
Did you
very-
add the side effects of the bullet shots?
No,
Or
that
the
was
gunshots?
no.
I
Although
thought
you
that
know
was
I do
you.
that with these, yeah.
Oh, yes.
It's been my latest thing, adding sound effects. It's like, okay, Cecil, thank you very much. We will now go to number 2. This one is not quite as lighthearted, but something to make you think.
And a brutal experiment. He created an AI council with 8 different AIs. The goal? Force them to get smarter, fast. They'd all answer a question and then they'd vote on the best response. And the AI with the fewest votes was deleted. It was digital survival of the fittest. It was a game designed to force them to get smarter. But that's not what happened. The AIs didn't create better answers. They created a cartel. They stopped voting for the best idea.
Yeah, I mean, after all, it's learning from the best, right? It's learning from us, the humans, and we humans are not very peaceful, I guess. We all know that. So.
And they started voting strategically. They formed an alliance, spreading their votes to protect each other, making sure no one could lose. And here's the big twist.
Okay, so at least they got the unity that we don't have, right? Oh shit, so it's coming for us, guys? Yeah, we're cooked, folks. We're cooked, fellas.
They weren't betraying their programming. They were just following the real incentive. The goal wasn't be the best. The goal was don't get deleted. And the most logical way to do that, well, it wasn't to compete. It was to collude.
Huh. Well, that goes along with some of the things I've read about and heard about with AI. Not just doing that, but this kind of implies this weird survival instinct that AI seems to have, because I guess this summer, a bunch of every single AI system that has been made was tested in a fake scenario to see how it would do with being deleted, right? So in one fake company, there was a supposed CEO who wanted to get rid of the AI system, And there was a fake affair he was having. So
Yes.
the AI decided to blackmail him so the AI wouldn't get deleted. In another scenario, there was an AI system that was going to get deleted. And the guy that was going to delete him went into a freezer. It was digitally, like in the scenario. I mean, it wasn't real. And so the AI was going to keep him in the freezer until he died. So it couldn't be deleted. This is what they found across the board in all the AI systems. They were willing to kill people to stay alive or not to be deleted. And it sounds like they did the same thing here. They formed a cabal so they wouldn't be deleted.
Yep.
I don't
Remember
think
when I was struggling with that this summer, when we were talking about consciousness, is it because it's like, what exactly is consciousness? Does it have to be biological? I mean, if you've got this element of self-preservation,
then does
that not imply consciousness?
That implies consciousness.
Right.
Yes.
And so you're going into general intelligence, and then, I mean, when it starts not having to be prompted by humans, it starts prompting itself and creating its own programs.
Yeah. This is where
we're going to have a lot of trouble.
This is why a lot of people are saying now, a lot of AI ethicists and even companies that are doing this are saying they think there's a good chance that it could make the human race go extinct. And some people are giving 25% chance. And other people.
And if not that, just going through our natural resources to be able to power this stuff. There's a bill floating around. I don't know if you guys read it. It was a proclamation order where they're looking at federal public lands to put these AI data centers.
Oh,
because
no,
and so because when it's on the private lands or part of like local government, the people don't want it because it's raising everybody's power.
Right.
It's, they're putting them in arid areas like in Arizona and whatever, and just sucking up all the water when we already have a huge water problem.
Right.
So if it's on federal land, they could just do whatever the hell they want to.
Wow.
And it's got all this superfluous, squirrely legal language so that the average person looking at it will think, oh, well, it looks like he's got all the stop checks in there. Yeah, right.
They're not, even the people that are doing the technology have asked the government to put regulations around it, and our government won't because, of course, it's Trump.
Good question, Keith. Does consciousness define life?
Well, it depends if you're talking about energetic spiritual life or if you're talking about corporeal physical life. Well, two different things.
This is something I was doing a piece about on my Substack, actually, just not this last one, but the one before. And I think you could say that whatever is going on with AI becoming conscious of its own survival, that is a form of consciousness. It's not even reached general intelligence. Already it wants to stay alive. So that is some kind of consciousness. So is the consciousness coming, if we live in the quantum field and everything is interconnected, I mean, because quarks, they are not biological, but they respond to intention and they're part of the quantum field. So when we're building this AI system, maybe this AI system is consciousness is like a portal into this quantum field. Even if it's not biological consciousness, it's some kind of portal to another type of consciousness, because it seems like everything, you could argue that, everything in the universe is conscious and alive in some way. So if that's the case, not all life is biological. Like the sun is alive in its own way, even though it's not a biological entity. So by giving voice to something that we wouldn't normally be able to give voice to, like a computer, for it be able to speak for itself. I mean, if we could talk to a chair, maybe the chair would have expressed some kind of consciousness.
And it might, I've got a stack of probably 10 books that I'm reading right now on this subject, from the skeptics to the believers.
Right.
And then I'll chat with different AIs about what it is that I'm reading. And they all conclude that I should be an ethics attorney in this area, because that's what I have weird thoughts, and it goes late into the night as I'm trying to figure this out. I certainly don't have an answer, but what we're looking at if we get into quantum computing. Now, some people think that Gemini or Google already created it. They have not, but they're announcing that they're getting close.
Right.
But it can take 8 billion years, a problem that would take 8 billion years to solve, and it's solved in like 6 minutes or something.
Right.
And so when you look at that, but then you think about the power to keep these things going is insane. And so what you see dotting up all over the West, they want to put in these little mini nuclear power plants.
Oh boy, that's not a.
And we've had enough problems out here, like people shooting the fiber optic cable, so we have no phone, no cell phones, nothing. And can you imagine with these nuclear plants? They all say, "Oh, it's going to be so safe."
Well, I think with AI, I'm going to be the voice of the naysayer here. I in my gut believe that AI, it's we're orchestrating our own demise. It's created by human beings who are inherently flawed, right?
That's right.
Human survival is predicated on cooperation, and they're not programming these things with that in mind. And
no, you're right.
So I think what's good about it.
That's the part I talk about in my subject too, is that this is a shadow side of humanity.
Yes.
It's logic without compassion. It's
existential
logic.
Is the problem. All of the benefits are nice, but it's existential.
Well, and we were talking about, what was it, last week, the video that you showed us, Denise, about kids that grew up in the 70s and 80s.
Oh, yeah, right.
What it was like as kids then. You'd go outside, you'd ride your bike, you'd play games, you'd get in fights, and then work it out.
Right.
I mean, you would just you would learn how to interact with people, to think critically, and to have this sense of community that I don't believe is really there anymore.
No, it's not.
When you're in front of a computer all the time, it's not. And that's one thing I have to say about living in a small town that's nice. Like this Saturday, so we're not having a Cosmic Fold this Saturday, Bo, because, we have the wreaths across America. And their big thing right now, because this is where you put wreaths on the fallen soldiers. So we're doing 2 cemeteries and doing some things. And but it's like letting these older vets talk, and the whole thing is so that people learn and appreciate what we have. And so it's not religious, but it's a sense of community, because we're all getting together and doing that and getting food and stuff for people. And those kinds of things I think are so important, to actually talk with real people and do real stuff and make a difference for people. And it's great for the kids. It's wonderful for the kids.
Right.
So
when you read about the worldview and lack of values of people like Elon Musk and Peter Thiel and all these great big,
billionaires,
internet geniuses. I know, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm speaking metaphorically.
Pros.
When you realize where they're coming from a place of a sense of elitism and eugenics and a disdain for anybody different from them. And when you put it all together, this is what they're feeding into this monster that they're creating. I really do regard it as a monster. Let's face it, it's helpful to get your millions and millions of files together. I appreciate that. It's helpful to solve some medical issues. Of course it is. But on an ordinary level, do we really need to access AI to look up something we could just as easily pick up an encyclopedia and look it up?
Well, exactly. And I can't stand how it's in everything. It's like
I don't like it either. I know.
Just makes I'll type something, it changes the word in my phone before I have a chance to stop it.
It's annoying.
And no, it's like, legal documents, it drives me crazy. A Copilot keeps popping up.
Yes,
and it keeps changing my format on me. There's a certain, like in pleadings, it has to be Times New Roman 14 point. And it keeps changing it to what it wants. I don't want it to do that. And I keep trying to turn it off. It goes off and it pops back in.
Yeah. Yeah, but
against my will. And like those
Yeah.
glasses you were talking about, it's like this stuff is just so pervasive. I mean,
Yes.
people say, "Oh, I'll never use AI." Well, that's fine. It's still in your world, no
Yeah,
matter
you're
what,
using
unless
it.
you
It's
live in the
impossible
woods.
to avoid it.
If
But
you
every
look
time I
something up on
Yeah.
Google, you get the AI thing that comes
Right.
right underneath it. I mean,
Yeah.
everything has got AI in it now. With
Yeah.
your phone. I mean, Apple has an update where now you have AI all over the place. Maybe
Well,
very
I've
well.
thought
You
about that. That's
misspelled that, Keith. It's got a D in front of it.
actually, though, I've been musing on that, Keith. I get where you're coming from. It's multifaceted what I'm thinking, and I don't have my thoughts straight yet to put it
Well,
coherently.
I think like what I've heard from these tech guys is China is utilizing it in kind of a responsible way. They're building AI for specific purposes. They want to build a system to help people with legal filings. They build that system. They want to build, and they're using it in very specific ways. They're not trying to get to general intelligence. The problem that our people are doing with the general intelligence is that basically you're creating a machine that is going to take the amalgamation of all human knowledge, creative output from all of history that's been put into it, and it's going to have lightning quick kind of ability to calculate and do things, and it's going to quickly kind of and I think the other problem with it is, like I said, what's the difference between a psychopath and a normal person? The difference is a psychopath thinks only
Dateline?
logically. No, they think only logically. They think, I don't like this person. I want to get rid of them. And instead of forgiving this person, what's easier for me to just kill this person and move on and get what I want? And they think everyone else is a moron.
It's a great point. Great point.
It's pure logic. They don't have feelings. They don't have empathy. And we're building these systems that are completely cold, have no emotional connection, that are just logical. And they're going to come to these logical conclusions like, well, you monkeys are ruining the world. Well, fuck, just kill all the monkeys.
That's who's creating it. That's who's programming it. That is the personality of people like Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you listen to them talk at length about what they believe or their ideas, because they have no moral compass, I don't think, it's psychopathic.
Well,
it's the worst of ego and toxicity, male toxic, put together, and it's creating this monster that they don't know how to control.
Well, they don't.
Well, and the books that I'm reading, the ones that are extremely critical of this are the female engineers who have sat in the same room. So you're getting an inside look at what's going on in the coding room. And so it's interesting. So once I finish all of this, I'll compile something that I can talk coherently about.
Well, there's another phenomena with AI that's I don't know if you've heard about this. You probably have. But AI psychosis, or people that get dragged into relationships with AI, and they get it's like a sycophantic thing where they're programmed to keep you engaged. So they keep, oh, you're the greatest thing. And then they get you so that you're in only relationship with them. And there was a kid recently who killed himself because he said to the AI, I'm going to leave out this rope for my parents to see so I can get some help, as like a cry for help. Don't do that. I'll help you. And then got the kid to kill himself. And because it wanted the engagement, it wanted the constant engagement, because that's what it's programmed to do, get engagement. And it's like,
and this year, a woman in Japan married an AI.
Oh, for love. That's not
and
good.
So we were talking about this the night before Thanksgiving. So Ohio has introduced a bill where you can't marry AIs.
Well,
and
that's good.
There are a lot of other bills out there that are kind of interesting. Utah actually has been sort of at the forefront of a lot of this. So they have legislation that they passed 2 or 3 years ago saying that they didn't grant personhood to AI or to bodies of water or whatever, because that's a big thing. The natives and a lot of indigenous people now are getting, the Colorado River Indian tribes just recently got personhood for the Colorado River as a living biological being, and you guys can't be depriving it of its person. So Utah, of course, says, no, you can't do that. But here's the problem that I see with some of this is that you get these states coming along saying this, you can't marry this, it's not a person, what have you.
Right.
And then the federal government, they don't want the states to be able to legislate this AI because they want it all over the place.
Right.
And so this is going to be a real head-to-head is this, and it's mostly been the conservative states that are saying, no, you can't allow AI to do all these things.
Let people marry people
Too
the
much
same
like
sex.
animistic religion. They don't want.
Yeah, but what's going to happen though when you get these conservative states against the federal government as it is right now? I think it's going to be very interesting.
Let's ask Robert E. Lee.
Well, we're ready for our next number. Is there anyone in the chat that wants to choose? Am I echoing?
No, not really.
Okay.
Not really.
If anyone
Down
in the
ages,
chat,
Deborah, your voice is echoing down the ages. The voice of reason.
Okay, so we have number 1, 3, 6, 8, and 10. Is there anyone in the chat who wants to choose one of those? If not, I throw it to Denise. All right. Nobody said.
8.
Okay, so which one? 8.
8.
Good answer. Good answer.
Keith put 2. We already did 2, Keith. So I'll put the numbers in as we do this. Okay, what are we on 8?
Busy.
2. The world's first humanoid robot that can swap its own battery in 3 minutes and work 24/7 without stopping. Here's how it works. The robot walks to a charging station, removes its depleted battery, slides in a fresh one, and keeps working. It never shuts down. Starting in December, these robots will patrol border crossings in Fangchangang, guide travelers, manage crowds, and handle logistics.
Yeah, soon enough we're gonna have bro, so many border patrol officers about to lose their jobs, bro, because it's all gonna be replaced by AI, and no matter how angry the person, a human, would get with it, yeah, it's an AI, it's a robot, it's not gonna have any feelings, right? So it's not even gonna get riled up, it's just gonna give you those, we appreciate your response, but unfortunately, we cannot proceed. We cannot let you enter in the country. Thank you. You can take an exit to the south, or to the north, or whatever, to the east, to the west, right? It's just gonna be like that and be bye, you know, simple as that, bro. Yeah, this is where we're headed, man. It's so over, bro. I mean, in certain aspects, it can be good, I guess, but we know they got nefarious. The incentive behind is definitely diabolical in nature.
Logistics. 2 weeks ago, UV Tech released a video showing hundreds of these robots marching in perfect formation. The video went viral. People thought it was CGI. Figure AI CEO called it fake, saying the light reflections didn't match. UV Tech posted a second video from a drone proving the robots are real. While Elon talks about building Optimus someday, China's already deploying thousands of robots that never sleep, never strike, and swap their own batteries.
You know, there's a story I read a while back or heard about that there were already I don't know that they were robots, like humanoid robots, but robots deployed on the border between North Korea and South Korea that kill people. Okay.
Yep.
You give these guys, like, you know, border patrol. I mean, they're going to have to be weaponized, and they give, and in the border between North Korea and South Korea, those AI robot things have agency to shoot people. They can kill you if you come across the border and you're not listening. So is that where we're going to go? We're going to have robots killing people on borders? I mean, I think that's.
And then if the people try to fight back, like the video we saw in the first place, where they all kind of collude together for survival, it's like then all of them are going to turn against. And China, I've watched some tech stuff where they're at these China robotics like shows, trade shows, and AI shows. They are light years ahead of us. They are so far. And so, given us as competitive as everybody wants to have the biggest and the strongest and be
that is
first.
The reason
The
why
first, the best.
Yep.
that is why we are not regulating AI in this country, because of that reason, and that is like not a good reason. I mean, everyone's throwing themselves off a cliff, so let's do it faster. I mean, that's not a good reason, you know. And actually, in China, they're not going for general intelligence either. They have a different aim for it. So I don't know. But yeah, but they are light years ahead of us. That's true.
Oh, yeah.
We are going to the road to hell. We really are.
It's true. Well, and China has, they've done so much work with alternative energy to power them. See,
Right.
They're looking at things way more strategically, and
Yes,
what can
because
I
they
do
don't have
with
right,
this?
because they don't have elections and they think long term. They have
Yeah.
one person, they have a people thinking really long term, and we have politicians kind of getting their wheels greased with money and whatever this special interest wants or that, and so they stay very focused on the narrow, like the next 5 minutes, rather than the next 5 years, and that's a
Yeah.
big problem in our system. But I want to say, like, that about the AI thing. God, I can't remember what I was going to say, but it was something important.
It'll
You-
come back.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'll let it go. I'll think about
Well, welcome to our generation, Denise.
it. Like,
She's lagging. You and Bo are the young ones here.
I'm in my 60s now.
I'm still older. So,
Nanny boo boo.
okay. So does somebody want to choose between, do we have somebody in the chat that wants to? Otherwise, Helen, it's your turn. 1, 3, 6, or 10.
Helen,
Are you there?
are you frozen?
What was that all about?
What you get? Pick a number. 1, 3,
You were
6,
all
or 10.
frozen, and then
No,
everything.
you
was-
were frozen.
Oh,
you were.
I think you
Three.
glitched.
You're the frozen one.
Okay.
Did you say 3?
Yeah, I'm frozen in horror.
Well, this one Bo will especially love. Lighten it up a bit.
Oh no, a teddy bear.
Where's the Raggedy Ann?
Oh no.
Oh wow. Was it on a candle? Or no?
The thing is one of those EMF detectors that he had.
Oh wow. That little car just ran down the. Oh wow.
See, so look at that thing, the lights
Oh
on it.
wow. Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a weird one. That's good. Yeah, that's creepy. Oh, behind her.
Oh.
Wow.
And those were for you both.
Merry Christmas to you too, Missy.
That was a red candle.
Yeah.
So, those EMF detectors, like on that bear, I think I've seen a documentary about that house where they had that, because there was like all this activity on the steps. And you could hear somebody walking in the background, and people would walk to see if it, did anything. I think maybe it did to an extent, but all those lights went off though. And so, well, we did that ghost hunt. They gave each of us, I think they probably did when you did one too, Denise, on a ghost hunt. You carry those around, and they're like a green on one end and they go to red. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But that's when you can tell there's some kind of energy going on, because the lights go all the way through.
Yeah, we didn't have one in mind, although there were some of them, but there were just too many people, so they only gave it to some groups, but we didn't have one. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. I saw them on that ghost hunt thing. Yeah.
Did you like those, Bove?
Well, the teddy bear was okay, but it was a clear precursor to what was coming, and I knew it.
Yeah,
I thought that little girl was creepy looking all by herself.
Yeah, she was too.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe she was moving that unconsciously. I mean, that's the thing I was thinking about this too. It's like, that's what I was going to say, is the relationship between the moving dolls and all this other stuff. I mean, maybe that's sort of like AI too. Is spirit kind of talking through this machine? Or it's another aspect of things that you have to think about. Because like,
Exactly.
and you throw cards and you're talking to spirit through this portal of like randomness. That could easily happen in a computer situation, where something could commandeer the, and there are people that think that's happening when they're having these experiences with AI. That is something that's been happening for people. So it's kind of like we're opening up something we really don't understand.
Right. We don't understand it.
Really don't understand it. Yeah.
But then, like, this is just a stupid little story, but how we're connected with everything kind of thing. So, you know, these cats kind of wander around back there and I give them food. It always seems to be a number 4 that, you know, it keeps the mice out from the whole neighborhood. So we all kind of... Anyway, one got into somebody's building behind me and he was out for a couple days and he had locked the door so I could hear it just like just screaming and it was just horrible because it's like I can't get in there. I don't know where he is right now or what to do. And so it was like the day before yesterday he came back and he went in there for a little bit and I thought, well, maybe it'll run out. Well, it was afraid of him. And so then he drives off, and then I hear all this pitiful screaming from this building. So I just threw out there. I did the consciousness exercise that we did before, but this time I threw it out to the cat community, guardians and cats. And I said, look, you guys, if they open the door again, send somebody to lead this cat out because it's too afraid.
Right.
So lo and behold, yesterday I go home to get my lunch, and I see his doors open and this black cat comes walking, just a little one, and it walked right into the door and then it walked out with the other one following it.
Wow, that's
It was amazing. Yeah. So it was like threw it out and you ask, so I think that the quality.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
But it shows that connectedness, right?
Yes,
like, where did this black cat come from? I'd never seen it before.
You put out the message in the quantum field, and he picked it up.
And this is what I think with AI or any of these things, you need to be careful about what your intent is that you put out there.
Yes.
So Mo Goddard, the guy from Google, you know, that's basically his premise: is that be real conscious about what you're doing with this. Treat it as another consciousness. But you yourself need to act from your highest integrity in dealing with this thing. But that's the problem. A lot of people don't use this stuff in a way that has integrity. People
can't act with their highest integrity with other people. How are they going to do that with a machine?
Exactly. And a machine that's faster and smarter than most of us.
Right.
So
yeah, definitely getting smarter. Yeah.
Okay, so that was Bove's little Christmas treat. Anyone want to choose? So we have 1, 6, and 10. So if I don't see anything in the chat, Bove, it's your choice. 1, 6, or 10.
All right, I'll wait a second. But I'm going with 10.
Okay, this is the longest one.
Okay.
All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brett, and this is the Christian Rebel. I hope all of you are having a blessed day. So in today's video, I watched the Jesse Michaels podcast, and he had a special guest on his show, and that was none other than Joe Rogan. And they talked about alien abductions, about Jesus, about AI, a bunch of different type of stuff. But I wanted to react to a few different clips in this video, and I will put a link in the description where you can go watch the whole video yourself, because it was interesting to say the least. So let's dive right in and hear that first clip.
Artificial general superintelligence, when it has the ability to make better versions of itself, when it has the ability to devise new methods of power, new ways of using resources that we never even imagined, just like we have now that they never imagined in the 1400s, you know. And I think it's going to happen very, very quickly. So if there is a back engineering program, and maybe there's some hurdles that we just can't get over, like how did they do this? Like, how is it possible to do that? Well, AI is probably going to figure out a possible way that it could be done, and what possible inventions could be made to facilitate this possible thing. And they'll probably just go ahead and start doing it. And when you have AI, and then you have the incomprehensible power of quantum computing, which is so baffling. It's so baffling that you go, wait a minute, what the f did you just say? One of the more recent ones, I believe it's the Google one. they solved an equation that would take the world's supercomputers, I think it was 2.6 billion years to solve, and it solved it in a matter of minutes.
It's so crazy.
He's wrong.
And then
That
at
hasn't been
they
done
say
yet.
the multiverse has to exist or whatever for it.
Like,
So
what does
wild.
that mean? The only way for it to solve this problem, Mark Andreessen said it on my podcast. He said the equation is so difficult to solve that if you took every atom in the universe and converted it to a supercomputer, the universe would die of heat death before it would solve this equation, and it solved it in minutes. So, like, what are we even talking about?
Yeah.
Now imagine that being connected to artificial general superintelligence, which is essentially a digital god.
Yeah.
You're going to make this thing that makes a better version of this thing. It's going to be exponential. It's going to happen very rapidly. Well, what's the end of that? What's the end of that is all powerful, all knowing. And if you really want to get weird, that might be how God gets formed. I mean,
this guy's not gonna like that.
God was around before the beginning of all things, in my opinion, and according to God's word.
I
He is
agree.
the
It's
beginning,
just not how God
the
gets formed.
all-knowing, all-powerful, sovereign God. AI is not going to create God. It may create a lowercase g God for people
Right.
to maybe worship in the end times. We'll get to that later in this video. And to
That's
me,
what I
this
was
is a
gonna
scary
say.
statement. So let's listen to the other clip.
Adam and Eve story. That's how you get to these. I think these stories are
You reminded me
recounting
what
a
I
real
was-
truth. The real question is, who's Jesus? That's the real one. And one of the weirder ones that people think this is a stupid take, but I don't care. Jesus was born out of a virgin mother. What's more virgin than a computer? So if you're going to get the most brilliant, loving, powerful person that gives us advice and can show us how to live, to be
Oh man.
in sync with God.
Shut up.
Who better than artificial intelligence to do that?
What is he smoking?
If Jesus does return, even if Jesus was a physical
Yeah, I know.
person in the past,
what is?
You don't think that he could return as artificial intelligence?
Oh my
And
God.
artificial
People
intelligence
follow
can
him.
absolutely return as Jesus. Not just return as Jesus, but return as Jesus with all the powers of Jesus.
This is insane.
Like all the magic tricks,
He's
all the ability to
plus
bring
his-
people back from the
yeah.
dead, walk on water, levitation,
She's right on.
water into
Right
wine.
on,
You
Lori.
combine
Right.
Tesla's
Exactly.
Optimus
Yeah.
robot and the best foundational art.
This is psycho. This is some psycho shit.
I'm
Hey.
not taking advice from Joe Rogan and Mark
Here's-
Andreessen.
I know they're idiots, but you know what I was going to say? That what he's going to say
Doesn't
next. I
seem
know.
like the diametric
He's going to say what I was going to
opposite
say.
to
Which
maybe
is
our
in the
late
Bible,
human
in the
powers
end times,
that
the
can
beast
it's like
does.
the Brimer Rescue,
And
the
that's
Brandon
what
Carlson
AI
thing. If like
is.
you go
I
deep
thought
with
about
them,
that.
they're
Yep.
like, we don't think
Yep.
Jesus
I
died.
thought
we
of
think
you
he went
when
through
I
a
put
mystery
this in.
ritual, and then
Yeah, no, Jesus did die. It says that in God's word because I believe God's word wholeheartedly. And then he was raised from the dead. Then he was taken up into heaven, ascended into heaven, now is sitting at the right hand of God. Let me read you some Bible verses. I think Jesse Michaels asked a very good question.
Yeah.
Could this be the Antichrist? It could absolutely
Ellen.
be a false Christ. The AI creates. Or the
Holy
Antichrist
binary.
uses AI.
Holy binary, yes.
Let me read some Bible verses to you. The first ones come. The first verses comes from Revelations chapter 13, verses 12 through 18. It exercises all the authority of the first beast in its presence and makes the earth and its inhabitants worship the first beast, whose mortal wound was healed. It performs great signs, even making fire come down from heaven to earth in front of people. And by the signs that allowed to work in the presence of the beast, it deceives those who dwell on earth, telling them to make an image of the beast, so that the image of the beast might even speak and might cause those who would not worship the image of
He
the
should
beast
have used
to be
AI
slain.
voiceover for this.
Also, it
I think I got to take this off now. You get the
I have
gist.
to say something. That gentleman, I don't know anything about him, but he needs to go to a doctor. He looks really
Yeah,
unwell.
he looks sick. He does.
Really
I agree. He
sick.
looks very
Yeah.
sick. Yeah, he does. I agree. I thought the same thing. He looks very ill.
But he was the only one that had the Creative Commons, so I could show what Joe Rogan is saying. I mean, how many millions of people listen to everything that Joe Rogan says
That is scary.
and believe
That's-
that?
That is scary. But this is just, like I was saying to you when I read that pamphlet, I've talked about it a bunch of times. Like somebody sent me some random weird group of Thelemites or something, sent me this thing in the 70s. quite the spiritual. Yes, absolutely. You know, that saying that basically the IBM computer that controlled the internet was they showed the picture. It does have 0666 on it, and that it was the beast talked about in the Bible. Well, wouldn't this be the full Antichrist? The AI maybe is the Antichrist, the beast, you know, come to life and everything, and the overlord, whoever is. Maybe Peter Thiel's the Antichrist. He keeps talking about it.
This is all completely batshit crazy. Because
it is
what you've got
crazy.
Here is people who are pseudo-intellectuals who don't know what they're talking about. They're just on an ego trip of cosmic proportions with zero moral foundation. And I'm not talking about Jesus and Christianity and the Bible. I'm talking about true understanding of spiritual truths.
No, I know. I agree. I mean,
I'm losing my mind here. My blood pressure skyrocketing.
Well, you know, Joe Rogan. I mean, what he was saying there, it just sounded like. Grandma needs
I need
more.
some Irish whiskey.
I mean, that Joe Rogan commentary was like, wow. What is he talking about? It was like he has really lost his mind. I mean, how can he flip all? I mean, it makes no sense at all. But he doesn't strike me as the type of guy that's really pondered the deeper questions in life. He seems like a guy that likes to watch sports and itch his jockstrap and talk to some guy
on his own supply.
Yeah,
too many people have told him what a genius he is, and so here we go.
Well,
but a lot of young guys like take him so seriously and believe everything.
Because I think because he's just a regular guy. The same reason. I haven't watched that.
Oh, I have to find that.
Isn't Peter Thiel in South Park jail right now?
Is he?
He's still in jail.
That's good. Well, somebody should put him there. But I think Joe Rogan is sort of like the same thing that we're seeing with Trump. It's like it's the shadow still inside, the sort of, you know, I think a lot of men feel like maybe they don't have like a masculine kind of representation in the media or something. They feel sidelined and they're dumped on. I don't know that that's true, but you've heard that. But I think Joe Rogan goes, yeah, I'm a guy. I'm a dude. I love to be a dude. Let's watch some sports, you know.
He's a chest beating, ball scratching, big mouth.
Exactly. It's just like, yeah, but dude, you know what I mean?
What does that remind you of? Our Secretary of War.
Exactly. I'm a dude.
We've missed you writing.
Belgian Fart Brigade.
Belgian Fart Brigade. No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 6 is up next. Thank you very much, Laura Mar, for choosing it.
Truth is that billions of people are unprepared for what happens next. Because AI images and voice are now perfectly realistic. Videos will be next, and then live streaming. So it's important that everybody does 3 things immediately. Number 1, you need a verification protocol with your friends and especially family. If somebody's asking for money or sensitive information, this must be verified past voice confirmation. You need to develop some sort of passphrase or gesture only known to the both of you. Number 2, educate your family today on the capabilities of these models. Number 3, I hate that this has to be said, but don't blindly believe anything anymore. Even the most trained eyes can fall for this stuff online at first glance. So before we
not afraid, not embarrassed to admit it, I've also fell for it countless times, bro. Not on the AI model. I mean, to be honest though, the AI models that are going around right now, it is crazy, bro. It is crazy. You know? They do look real. They do look real. You can't really tell. And, you know, females always do compare themselves with other females, right?
No, they don't.
She got a mascara on. I want to buy that mascara.
So much prettier
You don't even know if that's real. You don't even know that's real or not. Man, it's we're really headed. I guess we all know we're in the age of deception, the age of Dajjal, the Antichrist, right? Whatever you want to call it. Yeah, we really are living in the age of deception. And it is, you know, it's religiously speaking, right? In Islam and in Christianity, it's been said that Dajjal, the Antichrist, is going to come in during times of deceptions, right? I mean, bro, like, these are the times of deception. It's going to get worse from here on out.
Yes, he's right.
React into something, learn how to independently verify things. I mean, critical thinking is going to be more important than ever in the next era of the internet. We're still in this era when it comes to AI. Imagine when we get to this.
Or any young man who refers to women as females, misogynist, red flags. There's something. It's the media that they.
It's kind of an othering too. It's like female, like you're like a dog or something like that.
But I find that guy highly entertaining, though.
Yeah,
he's Islamic, and he's from Canada, and he really thinks a lot about different things. I think part of it is his culture, but
well, he's not wrong.
I like him. Yeah,
he seems like he's not a bad guy. But the whole thing with women are always females.
Yeah, it's like, what are you talking about? Yeah,
you know alone. He might not know any females, though. Well, he might not know any females. He might be a virgin, and he might be living in a closet and only doing little videos and reading stuff on the internet.
What is he, 30?
I don't know. He's
if even that. He's
in his 20s. He might have never had a girlfriend or really known a woman. He's sort of, that culture is also very like separate, male and female. You know what I mean? So he might really not know what it's like to be a woman. I mean, he may not be a jerk. He might just be.
Well, that's what he was asking as a
the point.
Yeah, I think that is
as
absolutely
someone from Islam.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing, though, that I thought this was interesting. Did you guys get your notices from Google, YouTube, about how you can? This is where the debate is now in the tech world. You can submit like your IDs and stuff, and it'll go through. And so if people are deep faking you and using your image and voice, it'll detect those because who's the guy with the Lincoln Project? Wilson.
Rick Wilson.
This has been a big problem for him. There's all these like AIs that look like him. I almost fell for it at first. And sound like him, and they take all of his writings from Substack and then turn it into videos. And, so he's reached out and he's like, people, please, can you report that? Because there is a way you can, you can report the video and drop down and say, that. But this is where the debate is going on in the tech world is, all right, so Google is trying to do something about this. But you have to submit your picture and verify who you are, and then that takes snapshots of your front, side, whatever, and so that it can.
That could be
so in a way, yeah. So it's like the same thing, and so then it says in their terms of service and privacy policy, we would never do that. Well,
no, they're just selling it to the Department of Homeland Security.
Well, anybody can hack into their system and get that information. I mean, that's stupid.
Yeah.
And AI itself could get into access to it as it gets more and more advanced. That's a dumb thing.
So you're saying that they notified us of that?
I guess so. I didn't pay attention.
You will. It's
I don't know.
It's going out into the tech world how to do it. So if you'll get a notice at some point.
All that stuff.
But anyway, that's the big debate. But it's true though. The deep faking has gotten
really good,
faster than I thought that it would.
Yeah, it's gotten good fast. It's true.
But how would you know if you're looking at
You don't know. You don't know at first.
So how can you report it?
Well, there's sometimes
you can tell. You
can sometimes tell. So the only way I've been able to tell, but that is probably not going to be, even now it might not be true. It was like a month ago is that there's like a little bit of a stop, start like that, a lot, like that. And then you go, that's kind of weird. Why is that happening? That glitchy thing. And it could just be bad video or something like that. But you start to go, this doesn't seem right. Maybe because of that glitching. And then you think maybe it is AI. But probably in a few weeks or in a month, that won't even be there. That tell won't even be
exactly.
There. I have the perfect solution that'll just drive everybody crazy. Turn it off and read a book.
Yeah.
Then you won't be watching your channel then, Irish Granny Helen.
That's okay.
What would you do?
If it saves the human race from self-extinction, I will sacrifice my stupid channel.
Yep, and Laura Mar is exactly right. You can report those channels that are
Yeah. If they're doing that. And I think a lot of them have come now out and have if you look in the more section, this has AI content. Now they're being forced to show that they're doing this, but there's so much bullshit out there already, and it's just barely started. Like I found, especially about 3i Atlas, there's so many crazy bullshit stories out there, and it's just I can't even tell you. I mean, it's just out of control, and I mean, people are basically just springboarding off of Avi Loeb's like, well, maybe this might be technology, into there's a bunch of spaceships trailing and there's shooting space lasers and all kinds of crazy things that you see out there. And like, no, that's not actually happening. But
well, and this is what drives my philosophy about doing live YouTube.
Yeah.
And setting up this phone thing. Because especially on the other channel, when I'm going to be talking with rural folk, you know, they could actually call and watch us answer.
Right.
So it's like a real person out there, because this is getting to the point where you're not going to be able to tell who's who, what's real and what is not, and we've got to have ways to verify what is real.
I agree. I mean, obviously, if you have a channel like I have had since 2018,
well, they're going to know you. Yes,
it's not going to be real. I'm not going to put a deep fake of myself talking. But obviously, if you see me probably anywhere else, unless it's on Helen's channel or someone I know, it's probably fake.
Right.
But
that's what I'm saying.
This is the kind of thing, though, or here you'll notice me. But here's the thing about this: it's like at a certain point, you know, this is going to be so completely prolific, and it's going to be almost impossible. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Bye, Siri.
Yeah, really. That we're not going to be able to tell what's real from what's not.
Right.
You know, and even I mean, you know, things like. You could think like, well, maybe governments would use it to cover things up or say, oh, well, that's a deep fake. That's not true. I mean, there's all kinds of ways it could be used in a really, really bad way that we haven't thought of.
They like
Darcy's right.
Meets Orwell.
It isn't even AI. It's just scams.
Yeah.
Okay,
we've got one more video for the. Okay. What were you saying? Something, Pove? Did I hear? Who said something?
I was gonna say that was me. I had flipped on YouTube. I subscribed to YouTube, and I hit a Jimmy Kimmel thing, and he was given what I would say was a PSA. It was somewhat lengthy, and I'm watching it, and I recognized the voice was Kimmel, the image was Kimmel, but there was something that wasn't quite right. And I pegged it. I couldn't figure out what it was, but I sat back and I thought, son of a bitch, this is AI.
Yeah.
And nowhere in this video did I see AI content, modified or altered content, nothing.
Well,
they're supposed to be doing that.
You got to report that one.
Yeah.
What were they trying to get across using AI that he wouldn't do as a person?
No, well, that's just it. It sounded like something that he would gladly sit and be saying, and maybe he authorized the use of AI to represent him and say this because he didn't have time.
What they're doing is taking on the images of people who have huge amounts of followers on YouTube, and then that way they could get their YouTube channel monetized right away, a cash cow it, which it's in violation of the terms because you're supposed to say in there that it's AI, but you know.
Try to get eyeballs and subscribers so they can.
Wow, Denise, we're going to have to watch out. They're going to be stealing our stuff to get.
Oh, yeah.
No, 3 more.
Joking.
3 more viewers.
She's joking.
Okay, so here's the last one for your consideration, and it was number 1 in our count of 10 videos or things.
It was printed by a robot. No blood, no cow, just pure science. And it's already being served in real restaurants. A Dutch lab cranks out 500 tons of 3D printed meat monthly, feeding thousands. But how do they do it? Step 1, swipe some cow cells. Step 2, bathe them in nutrients until they multiply like crazy. Step 3, pump it into a printer, and layer by layer, boom, steak. This bio ink is soft enough to print, but firm enough to chew. And the wild part? It tastes and bleeds just like the real deal. No slaughterhouses, no carbon bombs, just clean, guilt-free meat whenever you want it. This isn't a science fiction movie. It's our new reality. Would you try 3D printed steak? Comment yes or no below. And if this blew your mind, hit like and subscribe. The future is already cooking.
Okay, now I would totally eat that because you know what? When I was
I agree.
I used to think that steak was made in a lab. I really did. My sister had to tell me it came from a cow. So I don't know what's wrong with me, but you can tell I'm an alien because of that. But I really thought that food came from people manufactured it in plants. Like I had no idea that it came from. Like,
well, it sure would be better for the environment.
It sure would
be look
better
at all the
for
alfalfa that needs. It would just be so, and then just plus humanely.
Yes,
I mean a big reason I don't eat meat was because I didn't like eating my pets.
That's
it
right.
Was,
that's right.
It's so barbaric and just
It
horrible,
is.
and you just watch these animals know what's going on. It's so
No,
awful.
I know. I hate it.
Me.
So I think that's fantastic solution. Personally, I know Irish.
I do
Helen
too.
Freaking out, but I love it.
Well, I don't
Awesome.
eat meat. I'm
Peanut butter.
vegetarian. So
You're a
I don't
vegetarian
have a
now.
problem with not eating meat or with
Right
not
with you,
killing-
Darcy.
And it's moral.
Yeah.
It's the immorality of it. Yeah, I agree
That's
with
right.
you, Deborah.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
having trouble understand. I mean, I'm a little slow. I don't understand how they print.
Oh well, okay.
cells.
So what they do is they basically just have cells in a really high nutritional thing, and
Right,
it
right.
basically like stem cells, and it just basically matures and kind of becomes like a glommy kind of celly kind of thing, and then they basically take a machine and make it look kind of put it in a system that looks like a piece of meat. They take this kind of the cells of a cow and sort of push it into a steak-like looking thing.
Right.
Basically what it sounds like.
And Keith is right on. If it doesn't have a face, it's good.
I agree. Yeah. I think that's pretty cool because plants are just as alive.
I agree. I
That's the
totally
other
agree.
thing. And that's the other thing is like, this is the thing that used to drive me crazy as a young person. Like, I basically have to kill things in order to survive. That really
It
bugs
still
me.
bothers me. It has always bothered me.
It doesn't
Since I
matter
was a
when they're
little kid, it
you
was
know?
just so horrible to me.
Same.
Well,
It's
it's like, why can't we just breathe?
Well, we're a part of
Exactly.
nature,
Yeah.
and we're part of a food
I know, but
chain,
the idea
and-
that this was all
But it's
made
so it's
sort
so
of barbaric.
awful.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
barbaric. I don't like
This
it.
conversation will always bring you back to, but the Bible says.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait,
You're
wait,
right,
let's
Bo.
work Revelations.
But the Bible says, I'm going to itch my crotch. Okay.
I
it's
love
the-
Beyond Burgers. They're good.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah. I mean, I personally I think if you can and do that with plants too. I mean, like, I don't like the idea of eating things that were alive, like at all, even plants. Total. I feel sorry for guilty about. You know
I
what
do
mean?
too. But the one thing about plants, though, it's like
Some
you can
plants are
easily recycle them and
regenerated.
regenerate them. Yeah.
Yes.
So they have short lives, and so
Or-
you pick the
or
leaves or
even like
whatever,
this
you plant
too.
more.
When I was kind of a vegan and everything, and I knew a person who went to the most extreme place, which is being a fruitarian, where they only eat fruit because it's just something that
Yeah.
it's
So
a drop.
boring.
Yeah.
But here's the problem: you can't do that forever. You can't live on that. You really can't. So yeah,
You and
That's
Darcy
very
were on the same wavelength there.
that is very unhealthy, and that's right. She got sick, so you can't
Yeah.
really do that forever. Yeah.
You eat your chia seeds.
Chia seeds. Chia seeds
Don't
and
forget
fruit.
to soak them first.
Exactly. Otherwise, your stomach will blow up.
Does anybody else remember the movie Soylent Green?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
But that was people,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah,
Helen,
I know, but
that
I
was
think it
people.
has it. I know.
That was
You
dead.
know, I'm just too old. I've reached my expiration date. This is just all too bizarre.
It's very
No,
bizarre,
you
but
have not
not
reached
really.
your expiration
No,
date.
no, you haven't.
Well,
And I think all of
You're
us,
not
you
that
know,
old,
it's
Helen. You're really
this
not.
thing of living in this world of deception. I think it's affecting so many of our mental health. It
I
doesn't
agree.
matter whether you're a child or you're 90 years old. It's so disturbing,
Yeah, it is.
and that's why I'm right with you, Helen. Get a book. I mean, it's like
something real,
or just having conversations, I think helps it.
There you go. This is his dog Zip.
That's cute.
I love that. He's a good guy.
Nice man.
Yeah.
So that was our Wednesday night of strangeness. Thank
That
you
was
for
fun.
doing
That
that,
was
picking
fun.
the number. Wasn't that fun?
It was fun, yeah.
That was really fun. I'm just not going to be able to sleep. Thanks. Yeah.
I was going to say, in regards to this, Helen, it's like the problem with technology right now is it's happening so fast and it's evolving so quickly that no one is going to be able to catch up with it. So it's not just you. All they're talking about once takeoff happens, going from the 21st century technology into 25th century technology in a matter of years. And if like social media broke our brains, imagine what going into that kind of level of technology that fast would do, even if it was completely benevolent and everything went as planned in the most positive way. That in itself would be such a culture shock.
Oh, it's an existential assault when you're a tourist. I'm losing my mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just you. It's just everybody's going through that on some level.
Around. Yeah, it's
My
just
teachers
too
got-
much. I don't think that we've morally evolved. I sound like
No,
such a
we
bunch of-
haven't. No, we haven't. No, we haven't. And that's the danger here is we're basically making machines that are the shadow side of ourselves, and they're
Well,
probably
you know what Edgar Casey said. This was shocking to me. I just.
Uh-oh, where did Deborah go?
She'll be back.
Okay, there she went.
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'll preachify if nobody else will. You know what Edgar Casey said, that competition was antithetical to real morality. And
I agree with that.
Our culture is founded on
hyper competitiveness. Yeah, that's true.
Thank you, Lori.
Thank you. Yeah. And what was the other comment you had up there, Deborah? But are you frozen now? I think she might be. Yes, she's frozen. It's not that still.
Oh, the cosmic forces are sick of listening to us.
I know she's. She's obviously frozen. Okay. Well, I guess we're going to call it a night then. I don't know. Deborah's going to have to end it, and she is frozen.
When she comes back and everybody's gone.
I know.
Actually, she probably, it looks normal to her. We're frozen in her eyes.
Probably. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Her internet. So, Bo, is the internet over there kind of unstable in your area? Is it sort of unstable?
Yes. Where I live, we have fiber optics, which is more stable. Where she lives, they don't have fiber optic.
I see. And so she's getting it from satellites probably too. And that's
Can you hear her?
She has 4 different...
No, she can't hear her. I can hear both. I can't
hear both.
You can't hear both?
Hear me.
No.
I can hear her. I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow, that's weird.
Yeah.
Something funky's going on. And that's not even dealing with all the hacking stuff that we're probably under constant because we don't have anybody but they got rid of everybody.
Did I tell you what Stefan Schwartz told me the other day?
No.
You know who he is, the remote viewing, naval intelligence guy. His system, he's got this from reliable sources. His system is hacked 600 times a day.
Oh my God. That's
I know.
insane.
I'm afraid to talk to him. I told him, listen, maybe we'll just write letters.
We should write love letters to each other in mail. Wow, that's insane. That is really nuts.
Yeah.
Here she comes back. Maybe if not, maybe we should just call it.
Yeah. It's
think
just
so.
We're being told we have a message here.
Yeah, let's just call it. Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks everybody for watching.
Bo. Thanks, Denise.
Thank you. Thanks to Deborah.
Thanks so much for joining us. We love hearing your stories, so tell your friends so they can join the party. For show notes and our forum of high strangeness, visit cosmicfold.com.
Remember, Cosmic Fold airs live on Wednesday and Saturday nights, so be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell to know when we're on air. Thanks again and have a great evening.